G'day guys, and welcome back to Season 25, War number 7. Today we're up against Prade Battle Team, who are a really tough alliance. They usually place, bottom masters at the very worst, high-end Plat 1. So we had a really tough war today, toughest of the season, definitely. And so we had to boost a lot for each fight, and because each death is going to be more costly than normal, than what we're used to early on in this season and in previous seasons. So first we have a Terrax. I'm not sure actually why they place a Terrax here. It's kind of a waste if you ask me, since Terrax is quite a strong defender these days. He's a bit better when he's awakened, but yeah, I don't know. It was only a rank 2 Terrax as well, so this was a stupidly easy fight for Omega Red. We're just going to let the spores do all the work, and we're barely going to take a scratch. He's not going to throw a single special attack. And yeah, he goes down just like that. So next up we have a pretty common placement. It's a rank 3 Corvus on the Strike Counter Fury mini. So the reason why they place him here is because, inevitably you get these passive Fury charges that build up. And so if you miss a parry or you get hit, Corvus has those guaranteed crits that can crit for a lot. But we're just going to let the spores do the work and basically kill him before he gets too many passive furies. And he's not awakened, which is an extra bonus. And he goes down just like that. Another easy 30-second fight. Now for definitely my favorite fight of this war. This is a rank 3 Kingpin on Power Snack and Backup Recovery, which is a fight that screams Omega Red. Since it's a Kingpin, Omega Red's probably the best counter to Kingpin in the game, in my opinion. And we're actually really lucky to have a guidance boost on top of having Omega Red at max sig. So that's going to help just placing that, having that guaranteed stun right from the start. And that's going to be handy for the whole fight in case we lose any spores. But the game plan is just to parry, let those spores build up, get up to 30, try not to dex too much, and we have to be careful of backup recovery. That's going to give him about a bar of power when he gets 50%. So we're going to try and bait out a special one, and you see we already have the dexterity buff active, so we don't have to worry about power snack. We're just going to bait another special one. Unfortunately I threw the heavy attack when you didn't have many spores, but luckily the second hit stuck. So we're able to build up the spores again. And you can see this guy is just melting so quickly. This is a rank 3 Kingpin with like 270,000 health, just obliterated in 60 seconds by Omega Red. So yeah, absolutely the best counter in the game for this fight. Even easier with that guidance boost. So yeah, I was really happy with how that fight turned out. And so at the end of section 1, we actually hadn't died yet. And they died 2 times, which is really surprising for us. So we're really encouraged by this, by the position we were in. So we just had to maintain this really strong lead heading to section 2 and keep up this deathless streak. And so the first fight in section 2 is actually an Annihilus on the Shitness Thorns mini, which is kind of a wasted placement. Since, he doesn't benefit from, he doesn't gain armor buffs at all, and I don't know, there's just better places you can put this guy for, like, he's a pretty strong defender. But we are going to place an invulnerability boost because this is such a tight war, and we can't afford dying at all. But I'm pretty comfortable using Omega Red for this guy. We're going to try and sidestep his dash attack and then parry his first light, which I found really reliable in duels. And you can see we're able to parry stun him and then apply that degen, so that was really nice. Unfortunately we get backed up into the corner, but he's got 28 spores. We're just going to let those do the work. And we'll see if we can maybe get a parry stun. And you can see we do there. And yeah, he goes down in just over 30 seconds, so yeah, really simple fight for Omega. It was only a 5-star Annihilus. Wasn't much of a challenge. And we only actually have 5 fights this war. So we only got one more. And unfortunately, we did die a few times in Section 2, 5, which was not great. And they died one time in their last 40 fights. So we just had to really, really stick tight to these deaths. We didn't want to give up any more. They did die a few more times as they caught up to the number of fights taken. But we absolutely had to solo this fight. There was no excuse dying to this fight. And we still had the invulnerability boost active, which was nice. In case he does turtle up and go to a special 3. But hopefully we don't need it. And I've been pretty fortunate with this guy in the last, well, this season, I think, as a whole. He's been very... he's played along very nicely with his special attacks. He hasn't really turtled up much. The last time we really had a problem with that was the last war of... It was the final war of last season. But ever since then, I've been... yeah, these have been really, really straight ahead fights. Nothing really has gone wrong. Just compare that one more special 2. And there we go. So yeah, perfect fight for Red Hulk. He did amazingly that fight. And that's our war. We did 5 fights, but unfortunately we didn't get the win. We lost by 4 deaths in total, so it was really, really unfortunate. We just gave up a couple of deaths towards the end, and they had a really strong finish. Credit to them. So yeah, really disappointing, but we only gave up 10 deaths in total, which we're pretty happy with. So we just want to continue with this sort of form heading into the rest of the season, and hopefully get a few more wins to stay in Masters. But at the very least, just stay in Tier 1 for the rest of this season, so we can maintain it for the off season heading into Season 26. But that's it. We're 12th in Masters right now. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. It was a bit of a shorter war, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.